I almost went on a date. What? Yep, I almost went on a date. So long story short, I met a girl on Hinge. Her name is May, like the month of May, M-A-Y. And I thought she was cute, pretty generic profile. I'd like to get to know her more. Um, I'd like to go on a date with her. And that's how you get to know someone. You got to experience them. You got to go on a date. And it's just a date. Like, even like the first few dates, like you're just seeing each other. It's not exclusive. You're just seeing each other. And the idea is to have fun and get to know one another. And, the whole dating process is to build romance, to see if there's something there, right? And if y'all are both looking for the same thing, and if y'all connect, basically. And so, I was, long story short, I suggested a picnic date, but then she suggested that because she has sensitivity to certain foods, she's very picky. She said, "How about we go on a hiking little small walk, like And I had came here earlier this week, and I like here's the path, the path of the walking trail goes that way, but if you come here, it's like you come this way, you come this way. So I was actually going to surprise her. I was actually going to we were gonna go on a walking date, and then I was gonna have it all prepared. And there's nobody here right now except for that one guy. But and check this out. This is a fantastic dating spot right here. Look at this. It's fantastic, you know? And that table right there next to the tree, right? It's shady. It's a little private. An ideal scenario would be that there would be nobody here, but I definitely would have the candles. And I actually prepared. I bought like art supplies, and we were going to do art together. We were going to do watercoloring and drawing. And I thought it would be romantic. And I thought we could sit side by side, and we would, uh, have conversation and work together. And the cool thing about this idea is that, like, well, she gets to go home with something. Like she would keep that work. Like it's like like if it pans out, it's like, oh, remember when we worked on this, and that was our first date. Oh, it's romantic. And if you look here, I got dressed up. I got my necklace. See, I got my new shoes on. I'm looking good. I'm nervous, but I was willing to put myself out there. I was willing to go on a date with her. I wanted to go on a date with her, and I wanted to have a good time. So let me tell you what happened. So we met on Hinge. She responded to me after I responded to her, and then she said, would I be willing to have a phone conversation with her? I said, yeah, that'd be great. It's terrific. Yeah. A lot of women don't like to do that, give out their numbers, blah, blah, but that's fantastic. That's, to me, that's brave. That's like something really sexy, right? So we end up having the phone conversation a few days later, I guess. And I don't know what her experience was like. I'm kind of curious. I'm sure she had like a list of green flags and yellow flags. I don't think any possible red flags I was giving out, but for me, there were some green flags. Some of the green flags was that we were born and raised here. We both shared the hardship of gentrification. We had kind of similar values and beliefs towards relationships, where we kind of have, like, we both like walking, we both love art, stuff like that. Some of the yellow flags, there were some light yellow flags, and then there were some dark yellow flags. The light yellow flags were like, okay, well, I'll just make a mental note, and I want to go on a date to see her in person, to experience her. Like, I'll give you a yellow flag example. So she said she has 12 tattoos. Okay, that could be, I'd have to see her in person, see what, because one of the things that she said in the phone conversation, or one of the things I said actually was, "Do you have any tattoos?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Do any of them have like any special meaning?" She said, "Well, all of them do." And it was kind of like that. Like at times the conversation was a little stagnant, and I wanted it to be more alive and more engaging. And I really tried to get her out of her shell. I even asked, I even asked if she loves to exercise because that's important to me. I think she said, she doesn't have to be a gym rat or anything, but she said that she does yoga, you know, walking. But she did say that like she is busy, super busy. But yeah, so she doesn't have a lot of like extra time, and that her time is precious and all that. So I was like, okay, keeping a mental note of that. But one of the dark yellow flags is that she asked me about my occupation, my financial status. And when we were on the phone, I truthfully answered the question, and I said, this is exactly what I said. I said, well, I used to be in security. That's true. I'm transitioning. That's true. And I am preparing and thinking about going back to school, which is true. Fire truck. Really? All right. Let this pass. All right. So then later on, she had texted me, and it's as if she didn't remember. She was like, "Oh, I can't recall," and she wanted more clarification on like, what do I do? And then I think I responded by, it was a little cheeky, I guess. I said, "Well, I have money, and I don't have any debt." And even in the phone conversation, there's like clues. Like I was saying, like I'm a minimalist, which means that like I don't really desire, a lot of people work for like a lot of, you know, possessions, impressing people that they don't like. You know, me, I live very simple, um, and so I don't know what her concerns are because I'm looking for a relationship, and I hope that she's looking for a relationship, and she's not just looking for help, because it could come off that way. It could come off like, why are you like zeroing in on like a male's financial status? Like, are you looking for a rich man? What's going on? Like, but like at the same time, like she texted and said that financial stability is very important to her. And I'm like, okay, how come you don't have that on your profile then? If it's very important, why isn't that on your profile? But then on the phone conversation, had she said that, I would have said, well, what do you mean? Like, what does financially stable mean to you? You know? Because that can vary, like I think I'm financially stable, but I'm also a very private person. Like, I don't want anyone knowing how much I have or even how I even get my income. Like, that's no one's business, really. I mean, technically, not really. Like, but I I even said I was gonna buy a new car. Like, I have nice things. I mean, and we haven't even gone on a date. Like, this is like, whoa. And so maybe this is like, who knows, another yellow flag maybe. Like, she did share a story that she went on a date, and like this guy called her needy. And so and again, I try not to judge. I want to meet her and go from there. Like, I rather judge the first date because I know like you get nervous and on the phone, and you know later on I'll share like what I what I really think is going on. Okay, but if you look here, here's the spider, and we were supposed to meet here today at 5 o'clock. I think it's going right now. It's almost close to 8 o'clock. And yeah, I was looking forward to this date. I prepared all week. I bought art supplies. I checked out the location beforehand. I was gonna buy flowers. I had low expectations. I knew that, like, oh, something's gonna come up probably. And let me tell you more about this. So when we had the phone conversation, I verbally, like, said, "Hey, I would like to take you out on a date." And it was a picnic date. I was like, "Okay." She said, like, that's a concern for her because, like I guess she didn't like it. Like, it was like she's a very picky eater, and like it's just not something that I think she wants to do. Like, literally, we don't even need food. Like, we could have just literally, like, put a blanket down and just spend time together. But it didn't seem like she cared much for that idea. But she was okay with walking, and so we were gonna do a small walk, and then I was gonna like surprise her right there with the whole, you know, art, romantic, you know, and um, I know I know I told her I told her, like, and then I even texted her and I said, look, I said, I took her picture, I sent it to her, I said, Texas Spider, Saturday, 5 o'clock. So I'm there's no miscommunication. It's like, that's, and she could have responded. She could have said, oh, that doesn't work for me, or hey, can we reschedule? And I didn't get any response to that. She when she texted back, she was all concerned about my financial status. So that to me was, again, like, okay, and again, you have to be tactful. You have to, like, you can't just, like, hey, I don't like that, whatever. But we're in the beginning stages. Like, we are evaluating each other. We're checking each other out. We're seeing, okay, I'm watching what you do, what you say, if it matches up. Are you consistent? Can I trust you? And then when you meet someone in person, it's like, do I feel safe with this person? Am I having fun? How do I feel around this person? Hey, there's the city, Austin, Texas. All right. So yeah, there was some concerns. I knew that, like, she probably was gonna ghost me. It's fine. It's not the first time. But I take this as a learning and growing experience. Like, I'm like, and here's where I'll bring up my opinions on what I think is going on. I think that she knows that, like, okay, with her schedule, she's very busy, so dating apps would probably be a good idea for her to, like, you know there be a buffet of men for her to choose for, and she could just, like, when she gets the chance, she'll just maybe go out with one or two of them. And I get the sense that, like, she's not fully, like, healed from her past, because she uh, got divorced, had to raise 3 children of her own. And I'm thinking that, like, her dating experience hasn't been all that great. And then she said that, like, it's been a long time since she's dated, so she's not really putting priority into her dating life. Like, I'm not saying, like, when I say that, I'm not saying that, like, she's not going out on dates. I'm saying, like for me, for example, like, I'm working out, right? I'm going to the gym. I'm putting priority on my dating life that way. Not even if I'm not specifically going out on dates. So then I'm wondering, like, well, what is she doing to prepare and to better improve on her dating life? Um, so I think she was willing to give me a chance, and I think that she had some concerns. I read some articles on single moms. I actually learned quite a bit, and there was a lot of information that was very interesting, and I read up on like what it's like for single moms to date, and then what it's like to date a single mom. And I think, I think she was trying to be tactful. Like she didn't want to say like, "Oh, have you ever been with a person that has children?" And for me, I'm like, we're just in the beginning stage. Like we're just trying to like, we shouldn't move too fast. Like I don't think it's a good idea or it's healthy to bombard someone with like deep, heavy questions. Like yes, you want to like ask like important questions, like sure, like do you drink, do you smoke, do you exercise? Those are good questions. That's something important to know about someone. And a lot of stuff is on the profile. Like a lot of stuff, I think I even put working out on the profile. I put, there's a bio, and she didn't even ask me anything about like the bio, and that was a little concerning. Like I didn't really feel like she was wanting to really get to know me and connect, because she was answering like asking me questions that felt like it was just on a checklist, and she's going to ask other guys those exact same questions, but I didn't really feel like she was actually like uniquely trying to get to know me, and like, hey, like take your time. Like I think, realistically, I'm being honest, like at our age, and I'm thinking that she's thinking that like, does she want to be alone for the rest of her life? Like, and I'm not asking like for her to, I'm not asking for perfection. It's like, you don't need to be 100% ready, but I would like her to be ready and step up. And I felt let down today. Like I came, she didn't show up. She could have called me, but I get the feeling that when I go home later on and I check my phone, I'm I might have got a call or a text message. If that's the case, I will continue communication with her. But at the same time, I think it's kind of shitty. Like, don't like, why go through all this trouble just to like not show up? You know. It is a little hurtful, but I'll definitely repair myself and move on. Um, and the competition is fierce out there. Like she has to recognize that she can't be so demanding, because plenty of men will say, "Hey, you know, there are physically more attractive women out there, and there are women out there that don't have any children, or maybe just have one child." Where in her case, she has three children. And I'm not saying like, I was very open and accepting. I'm saying that like you have to know that in dating, like there's advantages and disadvantages. We all have them. Like I have advantages, right? And I also have disadvantages. And you go slow with someone, you get to know them, and I really feel like the best relationships are like the deep soul connecting ones, where you connect with someone's soul. You get to in union unite with them. Like you just like, yes, it's a little bit of like I would say it's like sometimes the attraction is not there and it grows, and sometimes it's there and it's pretty heavy and you want it to keep growing. And so I don't know, I didn't get the sense that like she was really into me. I was into her, and I was like willing to like understand where she's coming from and meet her where she's at, and I was willing to accommodate. Yeah, that's the key word. I was more than willing to accommodate, but at some point it's like okay, I don't know about this. This is kind of feeling a little off to me. Another thing is, I read in an article that, and this is I'm learning a lot. I actually like, I'm using this as an opportunity to learn and grow. So like the last 2 days I've been reading a lot, and I'm definitely gonna incorporate this into my own strategies online and in person. Um, I think I would have been impressed, and also I need to do this as well. Like when you start trying to connect with someone, like don't have it be like, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. I think it's more good and more helpful to say, here's what I could offer. And that's what I would have loved for her. Like, what can you offer me? Because one of the things that was concerning was that her time is precious. My time is very precious as well, you know? Um, and um, I definitely would love a woman who could offer accessibility, and if she's super busy, that's what she said, not just busy but super busy, like maybe I could see you once a week, if at that, you know like I think her career and her kids are pretty up there. Like they take up a lot of her time, and that's a concern. And May, if you're watching, I'm just saying that, like, uh, to give you some good feedback, I'd like you to reflect and to think that, like, are you relationally ready? Are you emotionally ready? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you are. And I'm like this. Like, if you're gonna ask me that question, I would say, well, no, I'm not 100% relational and emotionally ready, but I'm 60%. I should. Otherwise, you'll just be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and the opportunities will pass you by. You need to like put your best foot out there. You never know if you don't try. So I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not expecting you to be 100% ready, but like at the same time, I do feel, I don't want to be mean, you know what I'm saying, but like I do feel like she was saying all of this stuff, but then like it doesn't like apply to her. Like if she's saying that, like, she's looking for a man that will respect and value her time. Well, why is that? Like, what could she, when she has time, what is she offering? And at the same time, what about his time? What about his effort? Because look at me, I'm out here, and I thought maybe this could happen. And I sent a text message. I said, I'm be out here. So if you want to pop up, because I'm still thinking like, oh, it'd be a rom com, and she shows up and she's like, oh, you're still here? Oh, I'm so sorry, and like try to make it up to me, and I would embrace her, and I would say, hey, I'm glad you're here. Better late than never, I also like that she said that she was punctual. Like that's a really sexy thing for me. Like I love women that are very punctual, because I'm very punctual. I was here like 10, 15 minutes before 5 o'clock. But it's a learning and growing experience. Overall, um, I do see that I myself need to make some adjustments, and I would encourage May to do the same as well. And May, if you're watching this, perhaps you've already deleted my number and everything, but I'd be more than welcome to be your friend. I'd offer my friendship. If you would like to try again romantically, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, just I I I I do care about you. I want the best for you, regardless if we have a romantic relationship or not. Like, you know, and it's unfortunate that you hate Austin because that's what you said. And yeah, that's concerning. Like I always see on dating apps that, like, women, they love traveling, and it's like, how are you supposed to connect and bond with someone if you're always traveling? Like how can you're not going to be able to plant your roots with someone? And May said that, like, she hates Austin, I guess, and like she wants to move out. And I don't know, there are we didn't go that deep. Like there are couples out there that live in two separate homes. We didn't talk about that. I don't know if she's like wants to live like off the grid living. I don't know if like that interests her. I don't know. There was just a lot. She was pretty quiet, and I tried my best, and I tried to get the conversation, going, and I was, because I heard her voice, and I was thinking, okay, she's she sounds very sweet, and I'm trying to put all of this in a positive frame, like put it in a positive perspective, um, and I do. Maybe something came up. Maybe there was an emergency. I don't know, but I uh, I wish that, because I don't believe that my communication was not clear and direct. I don't know how else I could have been more clear and direct, but I'll continue to work on it. And because anybody can say they have clear and direct communication. Oh, I I'm I have healthy boundaries, and it's like, no, relationships are hard. Working on yourself is hard. It's like, you know, and so I would encourage May to continue working on herself. And hey, no hard feelings. This is a story that, people have all kinds of stories, all kinds of dating stories, and this is just one of them. This is my dating story, and this happened to me. And if I ever talk to May again, or if she sees this video, I would just say, um, I wish you the best of luck in your future pursuits, especially romantic pursuits. I know that dating is hard. I believe I'm a good catch. I'm a good guy. I'm not perfect, but I tried. And I'm already here at my vehicle, and I'll show you. See, that was the art, some of the art stuff that I had that I was planning on, and I just wanted to have a good date, and you know I'm already thinking about, like, I took myself out on a date. Like, I came out here, did some walking. I'm gonna get some dessert on the way back home, and then I'm gonna recover. But yeah, it's unfortunate, uh, I think she's a sweet girl. I think, it's just it's quite challenging, and I think if we were really real, it's like, I'm pretty sure she would understand that, like, hey, at our age, you know, we only have the ability to uh, catch a certain number of fish, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just how it is, Um, but yeah, it's nice to get out. My back is still killing me, and my tooth hurts. This is all stuff she doesn't know about. It's like, when I say I'm dealing with stress, I'm dealing with stress. Like, it was a pretty rough week for me. But next week, hopefully it's better. I recover, and more good things go my way. So with that, I will end the video, and I'll say, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you have any topics out there you want me to talk about, leave them in the comments. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation I explained. And yeah, I'll just kind of cross this off as kind of I guess it was kind of like a bad dating experience. It's kind of mixed. It was kind of like, it's like, I think she's got to put in more effort. It's like, I can't be putting in all this effort and not getting any reciprocation. Ain't gonna work like that. Not anymore. So I do value myself. I'm improving. And, I think it's also, I'm not talking about her, but I'm talking about women in general. Like, I think it's dumb. Like, some of the superficial things, like, oh, if you don't, little things, and they'll just write you off. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna get some ice cream or something. I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna be all right. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I hope y'all have a great week coming up. And just know that this is my dating journey, and I'm working on myself, and definitely feeling hopeful for the future. I gotta keep my head up. So with that, I'll say bye.